Welcome to Operation Outreach, a new program to highlight the services available to military veterans right here in Central Florida. I'm Fred Robinson, chair of the Orange County Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. The Honor Flight Network pays tribute to our veterans in a truly impactful way by giving them the opportunity to visit memorial sites in Washington, D.C. at no cost to them. It's more than a trip. It gives veterans a chance to reconnect with their past, to remember fallen comrades, and to reflect on the sacrifices and values that shaped their service. Here to tell us more about Honor Flight is Landy Dunham, Chairman. Thank you for joining me, Landy.
Thank you, Fred, for having me.
Okay, Landy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What branch of the military were you in?
I was an Army officer.
An Army officer?
Aviator, actually, yes.
Aviator?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what did you fly?
Blackhawks,
Okay.
basically, but had a chance to fly quite a different aircraft throughout my time. Commanded a multifunctional aviation battalion out of the 82nd. So.
And what was your final rank?
Colonel. Retired as a colonel in 2017.
And what is Honor Flight's mission and how was it founded?
Oh, well, you did a very good job with the opening statement, but long story short, it is an organization that's designed, and the entire mission is to honor those veterans that have gone before us. Now, when I say gone before us, we're talking about World War II, because there's still some of those out there, Korean War, and now the vast majority of our veterans are Vietnam-era veterans. So our mission is to take them, to honor them for a complete day, but we take them to Washington, D.C. so they can see the memorials that were erected in their honor. And we do a lot of other great things during that day as well to make sure they understand how valued they are for this nation.
And how long has there been a Central Florida Honor Flight hub?
Central Florida's hub opened in 2012. Honor Flight started way in 2005 out of Ohio. After the World War II memorial was erected. Had a lot of World War II veterans. For this one gentleman in Ohio who's talking to one of his patients, he was a medical professional, and he said, "Oh man, the memorial's open. Are you gonna go check it out?" And unbeknownst to him, his patient said, "I can't get there. I mean, you know, he was well in his 80s at that point. You know, DC's a long way." So this gentleman decided to do something about that. He had a private plane, had a bunch of buddies with private planes, and they flew a bunch of those World War II veterans from their home area to DC, and that started Honor Flight. 2012, the hub started here in Central Florida, and we've been going strong ever since.
How admirable.
Yeah, we're flying about 60 per flight. Here's when I go here lately.
60 per flight?
Yeah, we're actually increasing our number of veterans that we fly on a regular basis, and trying to look for more to fly. We want every veteran to have that opportunity, particularly now our Vietnam-era veterans, which are the
Yeah, I actually was a guardian 4 different times, and now I can be that veteran.
That's all I'm saying. I tell people all the time, that me being a leader of this organization was a little selfish too, because I look forward to my flight one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they have such a great time, as you know, if you serve as a guardian. And we look forward to you getting on there as a veteran too.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going on it with my son.
Nice.
With my son.
Yes.
Give me a snapshot of a typical Honor Flight.
Well, I'll tell you, they get up nice and early. I'll back up. For every Honor Flight, we have 3 different occasions. We take 3 weekends away from it, 3 Saturdays, but they're well worth it. We do an orientation where we bring all the veterans in and their guardians. So every veteran, as you know, you served as guardian, has a guardian. That individual is dedicated to that veteran for the entire day. That's their job. Take care of that veteran, make sure they enjoy that day and they're honored, as they deserve, right? So we do an orientation so they know everything we need to do, right? We're all military, former military, so we do it in that style, where we've got a nice agenda, we lay it out, folks know where to be, when to be there, and they're ready to go. Then we do the actual flight the next Saturday morning. We get up nice and early. We tell the veterans to arrive around 5 a.m., but most of them are there at 4:30. You know how that works, right? So we get set up both Orlando Airport, we fly out of, and Sanford Airport. We rotate spring and fall. Both of those airports are amazing with the support they provide us. I mean, they do everything from helping us where I can park my U-Haul there overnight with the wheelchairs. They help us by bringing us directly to the gate and right through, in Orlando. TSA is amazing. The entire airport and the TSA for both of those particular airports just seem to love us and treat us with unbelievable respect and dignity. So we take our veterans there from 5 in the morning. We get them all checked in. We go right to the back to the gate area, and we serve them a nice breakfast. They're excited, right? They're getting excited. Quite often the TSA has a color guard there ready to salute them as we go on the plane. We board usually around 7, take off around 7:30, land at BWI around 9 o'clock, 9:30ish. Now, you know, it's getting real. We typically have the fire truck salute the aircraft as we're, you know, rolling.
Water cannon.
Yeah, water cannon as we're taxiing in, both coming and going. The veterans debark from the plane. We immediately get on buses headed from BWI. We fly into BWI and head to the usually the mall now. We go there first. We have an agenda, full agenda, everywhere from going visiting the mall, of course, where they can see those memorials like we talked about that's erected in their honor. The Vietnam Wall is very popular, as you can imagine. Korean War as well. We've had quite a few Korean War veterans too, and of course the World War II Memorial, right? Then we take them from there and they get to visit the change of the guard ceremony for the Tomb of an Unknown Soldier. They get a front row seat, right? Every time that guard of the Tomb of an Unknown Soldier salutes our veterans with the scuff of his heel, as you know, they get to see that up close and in person. Sometimes we get a chance to see a reflaying ceremony too, if there's one available following that. We take a nice photo, we get on the bus, we go visit the Women's Memorial. Yeah, we typically have at least one woman veteran. In fact, I think we've always had at least 2 on every mission I've been on. So that's an incredible memorial as well. We spend some time there. We honor our women veterans there as well. And then we're back on the bus and we're headed either to the Air Force Memorial or the Marine Corps Memorial. We do have a nice lunch, usually sitting out, talking to each other. Guardians and veterans bond during those lunch times and back on the bus, right? We head back up to BWI. We get there probably around 6:30ish, take off around 7 again, and we land back either in Sanford or Orlando around 10:30 in the evening. And that's where the real fun begins, right? So there are a lot of different things we do that we like to keep close to the vest. That's a big surprise to the veterans. You know some of those things that take place. But I think the biggest event, usually when we ask them, what did they enjoy most about their day, they always talk about that welcome home ceremony. And that's where this city, this county, really shows up and impresses when it comes to volunteers. When they come to see those veterans and welcome them home, it's something to be seen. It's honestly, my wife tears up every time because it's really powerful. And I've had several of the veterans, particularly Vietnam era veterans, just hug me and tell me they waited a long time for this day and they're happy that it's finally here. So you mentioned it's a lot more than just a trip of honor. Yeah.
And what's basically like the makeup of the honor flight? Like let's say for instance medical staff or in case something happens. Could you explain that?
Well, I'll first say that we're all volunteers.
Sure.
I mean, every single one of us. No one receives payment at all from the honor flight board. We got about 10 members, but we do have a director of medical services, right? He's our guy that helps make sure that we have medics, usually from the fire departments that support us right here in this county or Seminole County or nearby counties. We have those folks there on the flight with us. Every bus, we tend to have 3 buses when we fly 60 veterans. Each bus has a representative from a medic of some sort. We've got a camera and a video gentleman and team that covers each bus as well, and does a great job for our social media, as you can imagine. We also quite often invite members from the media. I'm sure you've seen that, which has been awesome. And they give us some more opportunities for the community to know about us. We're all about making sure we spread the word because we want to fly every veteran. And there's still a lot of veterans out there, Vietnam era, even Korean War, and probably some World War II veterans who have not done this flight yet. And we want to make sure they get a chance to do it. Plus, we need volunteers, and we need donations, clearly.
And how does a veteran apply for the honor flight, and what is the prioritized order who flies first?
Very good question. Well, we try to make it easy. So we have an incredible webpage. It's www.honorflightcentralflorida.org, all one word, .org, right? And we make it as easy as possible because there's a little tab you click on that says applies for, to be a veteran. And you can fill it out that way. But like I mentioned, we still have some older veterans out there who aren't, too computer savvy. So we can also go hard copy. We still get quite a few hard copy applications. Well, they just print it out, fill it out with a pen or pencil, and send it back to us. We prioritize based on, of course, a couple things. First, World War II age, right? Korean War vets. They're always first. Unless we have a Vietnam era veteran who's terminally ill. Terminal ill veterans always, we try to put them up front. We want to make sure they get that flight if at all possible, as soon as possible. We do, however, I want to say this very quick, we do have a virtual honor flight that we do as well in support of some veterans who just aren't healthy enough to go at this point. And that's been incredible too. We've got a lot of great feedback from those. But we want to get those veterans on the flight.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the key, yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's how we prioritize.
And how much does a typical honor flight cost, and how can we in the community help support you?
Appreciate that. Well, you know, we've got some incredible organizations that have stepped up and helped us with donations, but a typical honor flight is about $60,000. And remember, it's no cost at all to the veteran. Our guardians tend to pay about $500 though, particularly our new guardians. They're really paying for their airline and their food, right? We feed them as well. And if they've done it a couple times, which many guardians have, as you mentioned, you've done about 4. Of course, we try to make sure that we reduce that cost on that guardian for supporting us as well. But we have on that same webpage, www.honorflightcentralflorida.org, a place where you can actually donate funds as well. And we receive quite a bit of donations that way. You can also mail in donations to the address, which is also on that webpage. And lately we've been having a lot of organizations, companies that have said, you know, we want to sponsor an entire flight. And like I mentioned, about $60,000. And we do the best we can to highlight that organization and thank them for their support on our webpage and opportunities like this.
Okay, well, Landy, I really appreciate you coming here and letting me interview you today. I want to thank you for your service to our nation, and I want to thank you for the great thing that you're doing for Honor Flight, because I've been on them and no 2 honor flights are the same.
That's right.
And the difference it makes in these veterans' lives is unbelievable. You have to go on it to really get the true experience.
That's absolutely right. And I'm so glad that you supported it and continue to support us. And thanks for having me once again. We love it.
All right.
We absolutely love it.
Thank you again.
Fred, have a great one.
You're welcome. It is evident that Honor Flight Central Florida is not only playing a significant role in honoring our heroes, but also ensuring that the sacrifices and legacy of our veterans is never forgotten. When we come back, we will hear from Anthony Johnson, a veteran who had a chance to travel on an honor flight as a guardian a few times, but his most memorable was when he served as a guardian for his father.